Software Engineering Code of Ethics and Professional Practice. The short version of the code summarizes aspirations at a high level of the abstraction. The clauses that are included in the full version give examples and details of how these aspirations change the way we act as software engineering professionals. Without the aspirations, the details can become legalistic and tedious. Without the details, the aspirations can become high-sounding but empty. Together, the aspirations and the details form a cohesive code. Software engineers shall act consistently with the public interest. In particular, software engineers shall, as appropriate. Principle 1. Public. 1.01. Accept full responsibility for their own work. 1.02. Moderate the interests of the software engineer. 1.03. Approve software only if they have a well-founded belief that it is safe, meets specifications, passes appropriate tests, and does not diminish quality of life, diminish privacy or harm the environment. The ultimate effect of the work should be to the public good. 1.04. Disclose to appropriate persons or authorities any actual or potential danger to the user, the public, or the environment that they reasonably believe to be associated with software-related documents. 1.05. Cooperate in efforts to address matters of grave public concern caused by software, its installation, maintenance, support, or documentation. 1.06. Be fair and avoid deception in all statements, particularly public ones concerning software-related documents, methods, and tools. 1.07. Consider issues of physical disabilities, allocation of resources, economic disadvantage, and other factors that can diminish access to the benefits of software. 1.08. Be encouraged to volunteer professional skills to good causes and contribute to public education concerning the discipline. Principle 2. Client and employer. 2.01. Provide service in their areas of competence, being honest and forthright about any limitations of their experience and education. 2.02. Not knowingly use software that is obtained or retained either illegally or unethically. 2.03. Use the property of the client or employer only in ways properly authorized and with the client's or employer's knowledge and consent. 2.04. Ensure that any document upon which they rely has been approved, when required, by someone authorized to approve it. 2.05. Keep private any confidential information gained in their professional work, where such confidentiality is consistent with the public interest and consistent with the law. 2.06. Identify, document, collect evidence and report to the client or the employer promptly if, in their opinion, a project is likely to fail, to prove too expensive, to violate intellectual property law, or otherwise to be problematic. 2.07. Identify, document, and report significant issues of social concern, of which they are aware, in software-related documents, to the employer or the client. 2.08. Accept no outside work detrimental to the work they perform for their primary employer. 2.09. Promote no interest adverse to their employer or client, unless a higher ethical concern is being compromised. In that case, inform the employer or another appropriate authority of the ethical concern. Principle 3. Product. 3.01. Strive for high quality, acceptable cost and a reasonable schedule, ensuring significant trade-offs are clear to and accepted by the employer and the client, and are available for consideration by the user and the public. 3.02. Ensure proper and achievable goals and objectives for any project on which they work or propose. 3.03. Identify, define and address ethical, economic, cultural, legal and environmental issues related to work projects. 3.04. Ensure that they are qualified for any project on which they work or propose to work by an appropriate combination of education and training and experience. 3.05. Ensure an appropriate method is used for any project on which they work or propose to work. 3.06. Work to follow professional standards when available, that are most appropriate for the task at hand, departing from these only when ethically or technically justified. 3.07. Strive to fully understand the specifications for software on which they work. 3.08. Ensure that specifications for software on which they work have been well documented, satisfy the user's requirements and have the appropriate approvals. 3.09. Ensure realistic quantitative estimates of cost, scheduling, personnel, quality and outcomes on any project on which they work or propose to work, and provide an uncertainty assessment of these estimates. 3.10. Ensure adequate testing, debugging, and review of software and related documents on which they work. 3.11. Ensure adequate documentation, including significant problems discovered and solutions adopted for any project on which they work. 3.12. Work to develop software and related documents that respect the privacy of those who will be affected by that software. 3.13. Be careful to use only accurate data derived by ethical and lawful means, and use it only in ways properly authorized. 3.14. Maintain the integrity of data, being sensitive to outdated or flawed occurrences. 3.15. Treat all forms of software maintenance with the same professionalism as new development. Principle 4. Judgment. 4.01. Temper all technical judgments by the need to support and maintain human values. 4.02. Only endorse documents either prepared under their supervision or within their areas of competence and with which they are in agreement. 4.03. Maintain professional objectivity with respect to any software or related documents they are asked to evaluate. 4.04. Not engage in deceptive financial practices, such as bribery, double billing, or other improper financial practices. 4.05. Disclose to all concerned parties those conflicts of interest that cannot reasonably be avoided or escaped. 4.06. Refuse to participate, as members or advisors, in a private, governmental or professional body concerned with software-related issues, in which they, their employers or their clients have undisclosed potential conflicts of interest.